was a cartoonist. He was also a sculptor and an author, but he was best known for his inventions. He enjoyed making crazy inventions that combined simple machines, common household items, and even live animals. Objects included wheels, gears, arms, handles, cups, and rods. These parts were set in motion by boots, pails, cannery cages, paddles, balls, and even turtles. Rube took a simple task and made it extraordinarily complicated. Some of his inventions would wash windows, get cotton out of a medicine bottle, and sharpening pencils in some very crazy ways.
Rube Goldberg's inventions reminded us of a game, Mousetrap. Taylor had this game at her house and brought it in so we could test it out. We set it up, played, and noticed simple machines that made the game work. First, you crank a set of gears, which hits the stop sign, which pushes the foot, which releases the ball, which makes it go down the incline plane. Next, it goes through this, it rolls down the incline plane, hitting the hand, that hits another ball, that lands on the end of a lever, that lifts the diver, that lands in a pool, that releases the cage that traps the mice. This game showed us how objects can affect the movement of other objects. It also gave us ideas for simple machines we could use. This was our inspiration.
Our project was to make a Rube Goldberg invention with at least 6 steps. In the end of this invention, our goal was to water a plant in a complicated way.
During our second enrichment class, we watched videos from the 2009 Rube Machine Contest at Pure University. It gave us lots of ideas for materials we might use in our invention. We noticed that they used things like strings, blocks, dominoes, and toys. They also used simple machines like pulleys, levers, and inclined planes. During the week, we tried to collect as many materials as we could so we could begin to experiment.
We had to work together and brainstorm ways we could reach our goal, watering a plant. We had many ideas for how we could do this. First, we thought about using a watering can, but how would we get the water out? We had a few different ideas, like using a pulley to lift it, placing it on the end of a lever, or having a pendulum swing it into it and knock it over. We also thought about using a cup of water. The cup could be knocked over, or a cork could be pulled out from the bottom. We also thought about filling the cup with holes at the bottom. Thirdly, we considered having a water balloon with a pin hitting it and popping it. Our final idea was filling up a cone up with water that tips over into the plant. We decided to water the plant by knocking over a cup with water onto the plant. We would knock over the cup with the ball. We tried many things to get the ball to the cup. Our solution was to set an inclined plane for the ball to roll down. We had to measure the distance the ball would travel so we could figure out where to place the plant. We needed to get the ball to stay at the top of the inclined plane so that something else cannot get into it without it falling. We got the ball to stay by putting it on top of a piece of clay. We made a small dent in the middle of the clay for the ball to sit in. We set the ball in motion and down the inclined plane by letting a book knock into it. So the book knocks into the ball, which goes down the inclined plane, which knocks into the cup with water, which falls onto the plant. We realized that we could send something down another inclined plane to knock into the first book, so we created an inclined plane with a binder. We thought a toy train would have enough force to knock down the book, and it did. But we needed to figure out how to get the train to stay at the top of the ramp until we needed it to go down the ramp. We placed the back wheel of the train in a small indent at the edge of the binder, and it stayed. Our Thomas train knocks into the second train to set the second train in motion. But how could we get the Thomas train to move? Dominoes. We found these heavy dominoes and lined them up. When the dominoes are tipped over, they hit Thomas to make him go.
We realized that the dominoes has to be set off the table, so we arranged them at the top of the 2 blocks. We tried several ideas to get the dominoes to fall, like gears, but they just didn't have enough force. That's when we noticed we had one more train. We stacked up some train tracks to create a path from the train to the dominoes. When Rex the train is pushed, he rolls down the tracks into the dominoes, causing them to fall.